Oh no. Oh goodness gracious, great gillyweeds. I didn't mean for you to fall. Silly human jumping like that. You have much to learn about fairies. Much indeed. Your grandmother never jumped like that. Never, never. Yes, we heard about her. We fairies hear all. Messengers of the world are we. Our deepest sympathies for your loss. We fairies loved her too. A good woman she was, kindest of heart and most pure of soul. An honorary fairy, in fact. If she had not been so tall, we would have gladly welcomed her. But all you humans are so big, so tall, like oak trees with great round eyes. But it's you. You're here now. No time for glum faces. 'Tis a time for celebration. Fairies all around have been awaiting your arrival. But I tell them to back off, I do. Frighten you to death, they will. Yes, sir. All me. Who am I? Ah, yes. Silly. Should have started with that. I am Siobhan, and I am a fairy, through and through, and I know exactly about you, human. We fairies live in these woods. What was once your grandmother's land, and her mother's, and your mother's, is now yours. So we fairies are your guests of sorts. Well, we fairies do have dominion and power over this land, but your family have been so sweet to us, we like to think of this as a partnership. Goodness, human. We fairies knew you were cute, but up close you might be even prettier than a bluebell in spring. Your grandmother, rest her soul, was quite fiercely protective of you, I might add. Wouldn't let any fairy near you growing up. She scolded us for wanting to introduce ourselves, to teach you magic and share in your growth. She would grumble about how every fairy went dopey-eyed looking at you. She was convinced one of our fairy science division might try and shrink you, or even that we would move into your old bedroom, like we would ever do anything. But we still watched from afar. The relationship between you and her was like nothing us fairies had seen in generations of your family. How close you were, how she would read to you and tell you wonder stories, how you would stargaze out here during the warm summers, how you would explore the garden and know exactly what flowers to bring for her when she was bedridden. She taught you a lot without you knowing, wanted to tell you about the worlds she knew. She knew how kind-hearted you were, but still she called us fairies scamps for our desire to protect you. And even as you grew older, you never lost your love for her or for the forest you grew up in. Truth be told, human, there are fairies from underbrush to berry bush that are lining up to meet you. It's quite silly, really. They all have their little opening lines they think will win you over. Some of them even faint just thinking of ways to say hi to you. I tell the truth, sweet. If the fairy princess knew I was here, I would surely have my wings covered in sap. She has a thing for you, too. Even attempted to enter into negotiations with your grandmother about marriage when you reached the legal age. You remember the summer your grandmother insisted on taking you to a beach cabin for a month? That was because she had just rather bluntly denied the fairy princess your hand, and she feared her house being carried away by a gigantic sunflower. If Una knew I was actually speaking to you, she'd go beet red with anger. Una is the fairy princess, by the way. She really likes you. I think she may even have a portrait of you by the best fairy painters in all the kingdom. But cutie, I got here first. You look so adorable at a loss for words. Like a speechless larva who has just been given their first full sight of the world beyond their cocoon. I was so right to come here right away. Una decreed none of us should step foot beyond the fairy kingdom until she had made her move. Can you imagine that? The fairy princess trying to woo my precious tree-sized boo? So I snuck out. Yes, I had to see you. Had to see. Be the first one to tell you about us fairies. Be the first to tell you of our gratitude for your grandmother. Be the first to look into the eyes. The first to rest on your shirt collar. And to be the first to do this. Ah, you're blushing. I'm blushing too. I kissed you. I actually got to kiss you. I feel so wonderful. I feel so grateful. It's soft here. I could sleep here, Sugar Belle. I could just stay with you forever. Run away and hide from all those other fairies who want to take you away. I'd tell them I would. That one's mine. No flying near that skyscraper, cutie pie. That one's mine. I would march right up to Una and blow a gigantic raspberry right in her face, and she would go white with rage. She might even cry that I took her toy away from her. And sure, she might send guards after me, but she'd never find me here, or in your pocket. And she might chase after you, too. She would shower you with gifts, beg you to be with her. She has a thing for tall ones, you see, Boo. As do I. But I love you for more than just your height. I want to live with you in the manor. I want to learn to be the best fairy out of them all for you. I would guard you and sing to you and teach you magic. I just want you to see how special you are. Your grandmother knew how much us fairies would take a shine to you, but we want to show you ourselves how much we appreciate your kindness and how much you have done for us without you knowing it. Yes, this is my tree.